Hey guys, welcome to Jaxbeautifulyou. In today's video, we're going to be talking about some popular perfumes here on YouTube. These are some fragrances that I have been testing, and I just wanted to share my opinions with you on them. So I love these kind of videos. I love to explore new fragrances with you guys. I also want you guys to tell me in the comment section what your experiences with these fragrances are as well. I think it's fun to have an interactive kind of conversation with these types of videos. So I'll let you know which ones I've been testing, which ones are no for me, and which ones I have added to my wish list. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jackie. Thank you so much for clicking on my thumbnail today. I really appreciate you being here. To my returning subscribers, thank you guys so much for all your continued support. I really truly appreciate you. And without further ado, let's get into this video. Alright, I am in the springtime mood officially. I don't know if you can tell by my makeup and my springy little dress here, but I am super excited for spring. I want warm weather. I want to go to the beach. I want flowers and butterflies. So that's kind of the perfumes that I am in the mood for right now, but I have been testing a wide variety of different fragrances. So I don't just have springtime perfumes here. All right, I'm gonna scooch over here so I can put pictures up on the screen since I don't have bottles of these. All right, the first one is the only one that I don't actually have a decant or a sample of. This is one that I tried in store, but I wanted to share it with you. Sometimes when I just try things in store, I don't share it with you because it's hard to get an opinion on the fragrance by just sniffing it one time on the back of your hand. But I fell in love. It was love at first sniff, and I know I want a bottle of it, so I'm going to share it with you. So the perfume I'm speaking of is Burberry Her Elixir. Now this wasn't on my radar. I actually avoided this fragrance like the plague when it first came out because I don't like the original Burberry Her. I think that it has kind of a synthetic strawberry note. It kind of reminds me of Baccarat Rouge 540 a little bit in the dry down. It's really not a DNA that I enjoy at all, and I don't like it. I used to have a bottle of it. I tried to force myself to like it when I first started getting into perfumes because everybody loved it and I thought I was supposed to like it too, but the truth is I just don't enjoy that fragrance. But I loved Burberry Her Elixir. I was at Ulta sniffing around, shopping, and I decided to spray it on the back of my hand just for fun, and it was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. So there's strawberry in there for sure, but it doesn't smell the same to me as the original. It's a lot smoother. There's something in this fragrance that makes the fragrance creamy and almost lactonic feelings. There's strawberry and blackberry in the opening, and I definitely get strawberry, but it's like a creamy, yummy, delicious strawberry. There's jasmine, and then in the base there's vanilla, amber, and sandalwood. I guess it's the vanilla and the sandalwood giving it that creamy, almost lactonic feeling, milkshake kind of vibe. I had heard other people say it kind of gave off a strawberry milkshake vibe, but I was confused as to where that would be coming from since I don't see any milky or creamy kind of lactonic notes in here, but that's what it smells like. It smells like a strawberry milkshake, but a perfume version. It doesn't actually smell like I took a milkshake and poured it on myself and now I'm walking around with a strawberry milkshake. It still smells like a perfume, but it is gorgeous and I love it. And if you don't like the original and you avoided this one because you thought, you know, I've heard some people say that they're similar, but yes, it has the DNA, but all the things that I don't like about the original are taken out. And then you add this creamy, milkshakey, lactonic vibe on top of it, and it's absolutely beautiful. And I can't really say how the performance is, but I did only spray it on the back of my hand, and as I was walking around Ulta, it was wafting off the back of my hand and I could smell it and I loved it and I knew I needed to have a bottle of it. So that is coming to my collection very soon. I definitely need a bottle of Burberry Her Elixir. It is beautiful. I love it. And it was a surprise for me for sure. All right, this next one is by Electimuss, and this is called Mercurial Cashmere, I believe. And this is a fragrance that I have heard some mixed reviews on. And when I looked at the notes, I thought, okay, I'm gonna like this. It has a lot of things that I typically like in a fragrance. So this one has cardamom, bergamot, and pink pepper in the opening. I don't really pick up the top notes for some reason. I do have a decant of this one, and I have to say those top notes, I just don't pick them up. Then in the mid, there's tuberose, there's iris, ambergris, and violet. Now, I was nervous when I saw the violet note because Violet does not always go well with me, but I don't really pick up violet in here. I definitely get the tuberose, and I definitely get the ambergris. Ambergris can pull very, very salty on my skin, and that's what this smells like. This smells like a salty fragrance with tuberose. There's caramel, cashmere wood, and vanilla. I can't say I pick up the caramel, but there is something very sweet in here, so that's probably the caramel. Definitely a lot of vanilla in this fragrance, and it does smell very smooth, so the cashmere wood makes sense. There's tonka bean, musk, there's oud in here, but I wouldn't even know there was oud in here if I didn't see that. And then there's cedar, so a little bit of a woody base. This is a very interesting fragrance, one that I did not know what to think of when I first tried it. So I have this decant that I got from Royalty Scents. I have some time to play with it, but I will tell you that every time I spray it, I like it more and more. It's just an odd combination because I kind of get, okay, this is kind of weird, but I kind of get Olympia vibes from Paco Rabanne. I'm not saying this smells like it, I'm just saying I get that salty vanilla. Very salty vanilla. Like I said, ambergris really amplifies on my skin. Salty kind of notes are just very amplified on me, and I definitely pick up something salty, something vanilla, but then add in a very prominent tuberose note that almost smells kind of grapey. Sometimes tuberose to me can smell like bubblegum, and sometimes it can smell like grape soda. Just, you know, not fully like grape soda. It still smells like a perfume, but you know what I mean? It's just kind of giving me vibes of. It's very smooth, it's very refined. There's nothing harsh or unrefined about this fragrance. It smells really nice. It's very, like I said, smooth. It's got this cashmere wood, and I get why cashmere's in the name because it does smell very flowy and smooth, but kind of a weird combo to me. But I like it. This is definitely a possibility. I'm just gonna wear this decant, I'm gonna play with it some more, and then I will let you know. Oh, and the performance on this is amazing. I can smell this. I don't have to spray very much of this, and I can smell this on me through the entire day, and it has a gorgeous scent bubble. So no issues with the performance for me on this one, and I'm kind of interested in a full bottle, I think. All right, up next we have by the House of Electimuss. This is Vixere, Vix something, I don't know. Sorry. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce this, but it's Vixere is what I'm gonna go with. That's probably super wrong. Now this one was a huge no for me right from the start. I absolutely do not like this fragrance. So there is a citrusy floral top. So you have mandarin, bergamot, orange blossom, grapefruit, and ylang ylang. Those are normally all notes that I like. And then the heart is floral. So it's jasmine, iris, violet, gardenia, and heliotrope. Normally I like all of those except for the violet. And I can smell the violet in here pretty strongly. There is something in this fragrance. This was actually a scrubber for me. I had to scrub this off because there's something once it hits my skin that really, really bothers me. It is, I'm thinking it's the violet, but I'm not sure. The gardenia's maybe like a mix of the violet and the gardenia together with the citruses at the top that just make this very sharp and prominent note that really stands out on my skin and really smells very not pleasant on my skin, and it really bothered me and I wanted it off immediately. And then there's a woody powdery base. You have sandalwood, patchouli, musk, tonka bean, vanilla, berries, and amber. And actually, you know what? When I spray it on here, I don't pick up that weird, sharp, harsh, bitter kind of note that I get on my skin. It actually smells nice on paper, but once I put it on my skin, it turns really bad. So I just think this is one of those fragrances that just doesn't mesh well with me personally. It's probably not a bad fragrance. It actually smells really nice right now, but on my skin, it is a hot mess. So this one is just an absolute no for me. All right, a while back ago, I decluttered Commodities Milk Plus, or Bold, whatever it's called. It has the plus symbol, and it's the bold one. Because I told you guys that that one is too masculine leaning. It was very woody, and it was very, yeah, just masculine leaning. So a lot of you said that I should try the Expressive. So I did get a decant of the Expressive version, and I will say that this is more my speed for sure. This is still woody, has woody notes in it, but it is less strong in the woody department, and it is definitely less masculine than the Bold. Yes, this is the one that I like. This is definitely, this one's good. This one is the version for me. I really, really like this. It is beautiful. I really like this. It's the right amount of lactonic and fluffy marshmallow with some woodiness in the base. With the bold version, I felt like the woody notes, the base notes, just really overpowered the fragrance, at least on my skin it did, and it just became this masculine, woody fragrance with a slight touch of milky, marshmallowy. But here in this version, I feel like the milk and the marshmallow are more the star of the show. So you've got milk as the top note, you have marshmallow, you have musk, mahogany, and tonka bean in the base. Definitely more my speed. So thank you to those of you who suggested that I get the expressive over the bold. Definitely more appropriate for me for sure. This one is one I can see myself reaching for in the fall and winter. So I don't know if I'll be getting a full bottle of this anytime soon, just because I have this decant and I probably won't reach for this fragrance until fall and winter, but we'll revisit this in the fall. So that is by Commodity Milk Expressive. All right, a while back ago when I first started getting into niche fragrances, I tried by Amouage Love Tuberose and I liked it, but I didn't think that I was in love with it, and I didn't think that I needed to buy a bottle of it. I thought it was super expensive, and since then I have pretty much struggled to find an Amouage fragrance for me. I struggle with the house of Amouage. It is a challenging house and I have yet to find one that I like enough to bring into my collection. But I did revisit Love Tuberose recently, and my mind has completely changed on this fragrance. I'm not really sure what my thought process was the first time I tried it, but I just tried it again recently and I love it. It smells so good, and I'm so excited because I think I finally found an Amouage perfume for me. Oh, this is so beautiful. What kind of crack was I smoking? So in the top, this has tuberose, gardenia, and jasmine. I definitely pick up those white florals for sure, but I don't find them to be over the top or too much. But I do have a disclaimer. I have a high tolerance for white florals, so take that with a grain of salt. I really enjoy white florals. And then there's whipped cream and vanilla in the mid. And I do pick up a nice whipped, I want to say fluffy, but I don't think fluffy is the right word. I do pick up like a whipped cream vibe for sure in this fragrance. It smells very creamy and smooth. Definitely pick up the vanilla, and then there's sandalwood and cedar in the base. I love every single one of those notes, so I don't know why I didn't just go lose my mind over this fragrance when I first smelled it. But this is so pretty. I love this one. So yay, I have an Amouage on my wish list. I do plan on bringing this into my collection. I don't want to pay full price for this though, because I feel like these Amouage fragrances are just ridiculously expensive, but I'm sure I will at some point pick this up if I can find it at a discount. All right guys, so we're gonna have a little conversation now about the house of Initio Parfums. This is a house that I have struggled with, but as much as I struggle with this house, I have always thought that it was a good quality house. I have always appreciated the house, and I have always felt like their fragrances are very well blended, super high quality, and because of that reason, I have always wanted a bottle from the house, at least one, you know? One that I felt comfortable with, one that I felt was worth the money, one that I just absolutely loved, but I just have been struggling with the house, even though I recognize that it's a great quality niche house, and I love the bottles, especially the purple bottles, because purple is my favorite color. All right, so if you've been watching my channel, you know I do struggle with Atomic Rose. I feel like that is a fragrance that wears me instead of me wearing it. I actually put that in a recent video of fragrances I love but refuse to buy, and I got a lot of response from you guys about how much you love Atomic Rose. Some of you felt the same way as me. Some of you felt like it was a more challenging fragrance to wear, and some of you were like, wow, what a shame, it's such a beautiful fragrance, I wish you didn't feel that way, because I want you to enjoy it and love it as much as I do. And I was reading those comments and I thought, you know what, they're right. They're right, dang it. I want to buy this fragrance. I keep ordering samples because I keep wanting to smell it. I keep wanting to put it on me. I recognize how absolutely gorgeous Atomic Rose is. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I think it is a masterpiece of a perfume, and it is a powerhouse, and I love the way it smells. I think it smells incredible. but when I wear it, I feel uncomfortable, which is not characteristic of me. I usually don't feel self-conscious. I usually just don't feel, I'm not a self-conscious person normally. I mean, I'm human, so I have my moments. I don't know. It's so weird. I don't even know how to explain the emotions I have with this fragrance. But the more I thought about it and the more comments I got from you guys, the more I was like, you know, this is mind over matter. I am not going to let myself feel this way. I have control over my emotions. I am a strong woman and I have control over my emotions, and I am not going to feel self-conscious wearing this fragrance. So I got my sample back out and I sprayed it on, or one of my many, many samples. I sprayed it on and I enjoyed it so much, and I was just allowing myself to smell it for what it was, and I just got out of my own way and out of my own head, and I thought, you know what, no more samples, I'm buying this. So thank you, you guys helped me to get over the hump, and I am buying this fragrance because you guys are absolutely correct. Atomic Rose is quite possibly one of the most beautiful rose fragrances that I've ever smelled. Now, I'm not buying it right at the moment just because this is a very strong fragrance that I've told you guys before I could only wear in cold weather, but when cold weather hits, I'm getting Atomic Rose. But there's more. I recently told you guys about Musk Therapy from Initio as well. I told you guys I thought it was really nice, but I didn't think I'd get a bottle just because I don't usually gravitate towards scents that musk is the star of the show. I like musky fragrances in the base, but when musk is the main star of the show, I don't always gravitate towards it. But I went back to Musk Therapy and I wore it a couple more times and I enjoyed it so much every time I wore it. And I thought, you know what? I'm gonna get this one. So Musk Therapy is officially on my wish list. It's very beautiful musk. I don't want to pay full price for it, so I'm going to wait until I can find it at a discount, but I do think I do want to add it into my collection. So I just wanted to update you guys on that. But wait, there's more. So a little while back ago, when I first started getting into niche fragrances again, I tried Psychedelic Love, and I wasn't sure what to think of it. I really didn't understand what I was smelling at the time because I was pretty new to fragrances just in general, not just to niche. I remember being conflicted on how I felt about it, and then I kind of forgot about it and didn't go back to it. I went back to it recently, and it was love at first sniff. And I think it's just because I understand what I'm smelling now. So I love myrrh. I have discovered I love myrrh. Seta from Myrrhesque is a fragrance that really helped me to see I love that resinous type of myrrh. I really, really love sandalwood, and that's what's in the base of Psychedelic Love. There's myrrh and sandalwood, and it's beautiful. There's also heliotrope in the heart of the fragrance, which I love heliotrope. I just realized I'm going backwards on how I'm telling you what the notes are. But anyway, in the top you have ylang ylang, and there's bergamot. So this is an absolute gorgeous fragrance with amazing performance. I love this. I absolutely love this. I was kind of surprised when I sprayed it, then I wore it on my skin, and it was this beautiful powdery heliotrope, bergamot, ylang ylang, resinous type of sandalwoody. It's actually really difficult to explain what this smells like, to be honest, because like I said, Initio's fragrances are so well blended that things don't just stick out. But I did recognize the myrrh, I did recognize the heliotrope, the sandalwood, and then something bright in the opening. Bergamot doesn't surprise me. So beautiful, beautiful, powdery, delicious, powerhouse, sexy. It feels sexy to me. Fragrance that I don't know why I've been sleeping on this one. It's so beautiful. This is definitely going on my wish list. So that is 3 Initio fragrances on my wish list that I plan to bring into my collection. I'm pretty excited. All right, guys, so I have recently fallen in love with Nichonne's Ani. I've been talking about that one a lot on my channel. I got it in a decant. I talked about it then. I immediately purchased it because I loved it so much. And then I got a lot of comments from you guys about different fragrances that kind of have that same vibe, not that are dupes or that smell exactly the same, but kind of have that aromatic, green, spicy kind of vibe to them with a lot of vanilla. And some of you guys were saying that Angelique Noire by the House of Guerlain was a beautiful fragrance I needed to check out, which I still plan to check that out because everybody says it's so amazing. People are throwing around words like masterpiece, amazing, beautiful, and I just have to try that fragrance. But a lot of you also said I needed to try Duelle by Diptyque. Diptyque is a house I really haven't dipped into too much, and I'm excited to do that, but I finally got my hands on Duelle, the Eau de Toilette. And I am shocked. I didn't think I'd like this, you guys. I'm not into green aromatic fragrances, but apparently I am. Maybe I just am, and I need to stop saying that because this is beautiful. Yeah, this is beautiful. I get why people say that this is similar to Ani, but I don't find them to be dupes for each other. It's resinous, there's cardamom, there's juniper, bourbon, vanilla in here. There's pink pepper, there's some tea notes in here. There's ambergris, but I don't get a salty vibe from this. There is bergamot, musk, and saffron. Definitely pick up the saffron in here. I definitely pick up the juniper because there's a bit of a aromatic greenness to the fragrance. It's a very aromatic, fresh, spicy vanilla kind of scent, and I really think it's quite beautiful. I get nervous about eau de toilettes because they don't always perform super well, so let me know in the comment section if you have the eau de toilette, if you think it's worth the money or not, because I want this to perform, and it's hard to tell from just a sample. So this is possibly going on my wish list, but let me know what you guys think about the performance of the EDT. Also, if you have the EDP, let me know about that one as well. I haven't tried the EDP, but I'm curious about it now for sure. So which one do you prefer? Which one has better performance for you? So Diptyque's Eau Duelle, the EDT is maybe, and I am very interested in trying the EDP. All right, up next we have one by Liquid Imaginaires, and this is Phantasma, I think it's called, Phantasma. This is a fragrance I thought sounded like a lot of fun. It was definitely something that sounded unique, but it was definitely one I needed to test, because if you look at the main accords of this fragrance, the first thing you'll see is green. And then after that it's citruses, fresh, spicy, woody. The notes sounded super interesting. So there's black tea, there's yuzu, rice, musk, juniper, ginger, and woodsy notes, and I just didn't know how I felt about rice in my perfumes. Do I like rice notes in my perfumes? I don't know. I know now because this was a scrubber. This was a scrubber. I deeply dislike this fragrance. Rice is not for me, okay? I felt like I had walked into someone's home and that person was slicing up oranges, drinking black tea, and cooking rice on the stove. And it smelled, everything smelled so sharp to me. The black tea was sharp, the citruses were sharp, everything was just so sharp. And the rice was interesting. I mean, it's interesting, but I don't want to smell like literal cooking rice. I'm not into it. So this was just not for me. And I'm not surprised, to be honest. I'm not surprised that I didn't like this fragrance. It's just not for me. However, interesting and unique and kind of fun that it is, because, you know, it's just not every day that you have rice in your perfumes. I know there's other fragrances with rice notes in it, but I just found that that's not for me. So this is a no. But I am happy that I got to test it because it was fun. It was fun to test it for sure. All right, up next we have by Unique Luxury, this is Crush on Me. Now this is a fragrance that I pretty much thought I was going to love because the main notes, you have caramel and patchouli. It's a warm, spicy fragrance, and I thought, well, I love all those things. I love warm, spicy, I love caramel, and I love patchouli. I heard that this is an absolute beast of a perfume, and they're not joking. This is a beast of a perfume. This is eternal. I sprayed just a couple of sprays and it was just like, whoa. I mean, it is a strong fragrance. There are definitely no performance issues with this fragrance. However, I don't like these notes in combination together. I discovered I really don't like a sticky, sweet caramel fragrance with a very dark, earthy patchouli, and that's what I get from this fragrance. I'm kind of sad though because in the opening there's ginger and lime, and I do really like the opening of this fragrance. I love lime and I love ginger, so I was kind of excited. I was like, ooh, I'm gonna like this. But then there's floral notes in the base. I can't say I picked up a lot of floral notes from this fragrance, but then there's a lot of caramel and a lot of patchouli, kind of in equal amounts in the base. It's kind of odd. I don't think I care for that combo, to be honest. And Yeah, it just wasn't for me. It's not terrible. Like, it wasn't a scrubber perfume for me, but it was definitely not one that I thought, okay, I just absolutely need to have. And I probably just sprayed some of that on my fingers. This is going to be on me for the rest of the day. Yeah, I don't like the caramel patchouli combo in here. Let me know in the comment section what you think of Crush on Me. It's not for me. It's just over the top, patchouli and caramel. I like both of those notes, but apparently not together. So that is by Unique Luxury, Crush on Me. All right, a fragrance I was super curious about for a very long time but could never find a sample of and finally got a hold of is by Christian Dior. This is EDEN-ROC. I had heard very different opinions about this fragrance and I thought I would check it out for myself. Now, this has the potential to go very wrong for me, but it also has the potential to go very right. I love perfumes like this because you just don't know which way that it's gonna go. So there's sea salt and citruses in the opening, which I typically love in perfumes. I love salty, I love citruses, but then there's mineral notes, and that usually doesn't work out for me. There's jasmine, and then a lot of people were saying that they couldn't pick up the coconut in here, that they were just getting this green piney note, and that can go one way or another. I love coconut, but I don't like green realistic pine notes, and then there's labdanum in here as well. So I was super curious, and I will say when I first spray this, I thought, oh, I'm gonna love this, because the first spray of this, I get the sea salt, I get the citruses, and I get the coconut. But as it dries down, the other notes that I don't like come through a lot. On my skin, the mineral note starts to pull through. I really wish that it just stayed this way. The way it smells in the opening is how I wish it stayed, but when it dries down, those mineral notes come through. It gives it this metallic feel that I don't like. I definitely pick up on the pine tree. That ruins it. That ruins it for me. I don't like that at all. And the coconut kind of goes to the background and that pine tree comes forward a lot. I'm not into it. So EDEN-ROC, I finally found out that I don't like EDEN-ROC, but I do like the opening. I don't like the dry down. All right, guys, and that is it for today's video. Those are the fragrances I have been testing, the ones I have put on my wish list and taken off. I definitely want to hear from you guys. Let me know your opinions and thoughts on all of these fragrances. If you found this video helpful and you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I hope everybody is having an amazing day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.